Hi everyone, welcome to another episode. Today we will talk about how you can stop wasting your life, say no to things that don't bring you further. Today I'm going to make this episode because I have a feeling that so many of you are living your best years, but you don't have set the right intentions. And I've also seen in my surroundings through conversations with people that a lot of you are wasting your energies and your time on jobs and relationships that don't even bring you further. We constantly get distracted by social media. We constantly get from a lot of people saying we are supposed to do. And with all of this, our anxiety rate is skyrocketing. We don't trust ourselves anymore. So if we are worried all the time about when to find the right partner, if we're worried all the time to have the right job or worrying about all of those things that we cannot control, then we are wasting our time by not really living in the present. I even know people who would lose their health over the job. I know from conversations there are women out there who lost their health, their energy, simply because they have been in toxic relationships and they could not end it, even though they know they're supposed to do it. I also know cases where people are spending a lot of money on mental health, on psychologists, because they are dealing with toxic work environment. And it's because they have not find the energy to maintain the boundaries, because they think this is all they can do. And we're doing all of this even though we don't even have clear focus. We don't even know where we want to go with our lives. It's like you just start to run and you run, and out of the sudden you are out of energy. It's because you don't have a goal. It's because you are running for the sake of running. It's like when people are telling us, hey, life has to be hard, only then you can be successful. The truth is that you need to have the right intention, because if you don't have the right intention, if you don't have the right focus, it's not going to work out. No matter how hard you're working, no matter how fast you're running, it's going to drain your energy. So one of the things I want to talk about, and this is the first point, is that you need to stop chasing men. Stop chasing men, stop chasing their opinions, and start to chase your own goals. And I know most of you are here from my content regarding feminine energy, regarding relationships, but I will tell you something. I know that soon you're going to have some quiet time. Soon you're going to have some time where you are just being bored. 9 out of 10, you're going to start to think about that guy that last ghosted you. You're going to think about why he has not messaged you back. And you probably think about that one guy and wondering what he is thinking about you. So, as I said in my previous video, stop trying so hard. Stop chasing. You attract men. You don't chase men. Once you're trying too hard, you are starting to chase and you are neglecting yourself. Recently, I heard this analogy about a garden. It's like, imagine you are having this garden which is symbolizing your life, okay? You are choosing what kind of flowers, what kind of trees you want to plant in the garden. And so you grow that garden. Why? Because you want to attract the right birds, the right butterflies, whatever, the right bee. This is what you do when it comes to men. You don't go out there. So let's assume, okay, the butterflies, they are the men. You don't go out there and you don't take a butterfly and you put it in a jar. What you do is that you just grow your own flowers. You grow the flower that you like to grow because it's you, it's your life. The garden is your life. And soon the right butterfly will come to you based on the flower you have planted over months, over years. And for that, you don't have to put much effort to attract them. You don't have to go out of your garden to chase the right butterfly. It comes to you. And this is how you should view men. And the flowers and the plants, all of whatever is in your garden, they are standing for you, for your goals, for what you want to achieve in your life, okay? So that's why I'm telling you, focus on your goals, attract only men. So ask yourself, what do you want to do with your life? You need to take accountability. You are the one who can get out of that situation you are in. You are the only one, because you are the only one that knows yourself. No one is going to save you, and no matter what situation you are in. You probably are watching this video because you are in a specific situation and you want to get out of it because you are seeking to have the right energy and the right focus at this point in time. And I'm telling you one thing, everything in your life is because of you. If you didn't hit your gym goals, if you didn't make that money, it's because of you, because you choose what you're doing with your free time, okay? If you cannot make better friends and you are letting people walking over you because they just want to use you for some reason. It's on you. It's not on them. Also, if you are in this toxic relationship, it's on you, because at the end of the day, you are the one who decided to stay, not them. Because the truth is that everything happens because of your actions and because of your mindset. And because of that, you let those circumstances in your life. So stop letting other people and circumstances just dictating your life. Stop letting everyone tell you what to do. Because here's the thing, if you are okay where you're standing right now, stop listening further. If you want to make a change, now pay attention and be true to yourself. Ask yourself, how far are you where you want to be? Be true to yourself. Why are you that far from your goals? And what is that you want? Is that still the same goal that you want? So let's say, for example, your goal is to, I don't know, lose 10 kilograms within a year. You want to hit the fitness goal. Maybe you want to gain muscles and you want to hit the gym. You haven't reached that goal yet. Not even in 3 years. 3 years have passed. Ask yourself, is that still what you want? Or are you lying to yourself? It's not your priority. Then you should not think about it and not redirect your energy into something that doesn't deserve at the time your energy, because it's just simply not your priority. Or is it because you need to really change something about your habits? If you want to change something about your habits, then you need to really stay true to yourself. Because the thing is that a lot of things can always come in between. Maybe we are in this freeze mode. Like I recently saw a video, it says you are not lazy, you are just, your nervous system is just literally in this freeze mode. Because either you are in this freeze mode and you cannot move forward because of other circumstances, like maybe you are overloaded by work, by information, by obtaining that one goal, that goal, and that goal, and it's just, like there's too much going on. If that is the case, then I want you to imagine you don't have, for example, that job that you're doing right now. If that's the job that is really bothering you, imagine you don't have that. Imagine you are not in this toxic relationship. Imagine all those external situations causing by other people are not existing in your life. All this negativity, they don't exist in your life. And those are not taking any energy from you away anymore. Imagine that for a second. Now, ask yourself, what do you want to do with your life when those things are not there anymore? What do you want? Who are you? What is important right now that you can do in your own power? What do I want in 5 years? So let's say we often talk about toxic relationships. Let's say, for example, this toxic relationship has taken so much time, the last few months, the last few years. I don't know how long you have been stuck in this situation or this job that is so unfulfilling because all your colleagues, they are just toxic to you. Now, ask yourself, will those people, will those situations contribute something to my future self in 5 years? Will they add something beneficial in 5 years? Where are you in 5 years? Sometimes it's also just realizing, okay, we need to do something about it. We need to take things in action. And if you take steps towards action, you automatically get out of this freeze mode. Your nervous system will get used to it, to move yourself, like move your mind and move your body. When you do all of those things, and it can be really tiny steps, you will soon gain confidence again. But also ask yourself in the first place, like, do I even set the right boundaries? That I take time for myself to gather all that energy, to put a focus point in my life and just to walk that path? Or am I just allowing other people to take that time and that energy away from me? Also, ask yourself, is this toxic manager you're currently having still relevant for you in 5 years? Are those haters that are out there, whoever is hating you, are they still relevant for you in 5 years? Like, is this guy who does not reply to your text messages, is he really still important to you in 5 years? Like, if you, for example, want to have a family and you want to settle, do you even want to be with someone who is not reliable and not talking back to you, where you need to figure out his games first? Like, come on. We're not here to waste our energies. We are here to invest. and get the maximum out of what we are investing. Okay? Also understand discipline is love. And I know it is hard to let go, especially when you are used to, having the safety net. Everything in life is hard. Like I always told myself, life is unfair. It's the first rule ever. Life is just simply unfair. Maybe some people are just born rich with tons of opportunities. But also know that meanwhile, you're watching this video, someone out there is starving, fighting for the security, fighting for their lives, not knowing if they're gonna be alive tomorrow, okay? So if you're saying life is unfair, you can put a lot of extremes into perspective. It also makes you realizing life can really present itself in the most extreme beautiful way, but also in the most ugliest way. Like if you are ungrateful, you won't get anywhere. Because the thing is that I can tell you one thing, it will be hard to get out of bed every morning, but it will be also hard to stay in bed all day. It will be hard to be single. It will be also hard to be married. It is hard for someone who wants to lose weight, but someone who has like maybe an eating disorder, it is hard to gain weight. It is hard, for example, for someone to let go if it has been a very toxic relationship, but for the same person it's also hard to stay. It can be also hard to wake up early, but it can be also hard to wake up late. But here's the thing, there is a reward on the other side if you are waking up early. But if you are waking up late, you have lost so much daylight, you have lost so much time where you can just working on fulfilling your dream. Because while someone woke up early, you now only have maybe a fraction of the daytime where you can get things done. So of course you feel you are behind. So what I'm telling is that there is always a reward on the other side, because whatever you choose, it can be hard. Things are hard. Life is hard. There is always a reward on the other side of one pain. And there will always be regret on the other side of the other pain. Both things are hard to do. Nothing in life is easy, but we need to decide. When you choose for one thing, think about it. What are the consequences of my pain? Will I choose the pain of regret, or will I choose the pain of discipline? You also need to say no more to others and more yes to yourself. In the book of 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene said that half of mastering your power, it just comes from what you do not do, what you do not allow yourself to drag into. So before you do anything, before you invest yourself, your time, your energy into something, you need to evaluate the cost of whatever you're gonna start to do. Let's say, for example, you have FOMO. Since you know yourself, you always have FOMO. You want to always be wherever your friends are, but you know that it drains your energy. And let's say, there is one event that is happening, there's alcohol involved, but you hate alcohol, but there are also a lot of people there you haven't seen for a while. Now, before you go to that party, think about, what is your goal? What do you want to get out of it? What does it cost you? Do you want to update with people? Do you want to stay in touch with them? Is that your only goal? Like, why don't you just, for example, reach out to them? Why don't you just avoid that party, having really quality time with your friends, and see them one by one, having a conversation, having like really fruitful quality time with them? Or is that you really just want to have all the attention and being there? And if that's all about, like, you want to be there because you want to be seen and not really having this truthful connection, I really advise you to take one step back, asking yourself, who are you? What do you want in 5 years? Are those situations contributing anything good to your 5 years goals? Okay. I also recently heard about this term JOMO, which is basically the joy of missing out and feeling simply euphoric about the idea of not being involved into anything, and just simply being not involved into things that has low priority in your life. Another example is also, let's say you met this new guy, you want to play along his game, you like him so much, but you also realize that it drains you because he's hot and cold and hot and cold. Like, what I'm trying to tell you, really, 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 really stop trying so hard. And secondly, if you cannot resist trying to, then ask yourself, what will I attain from this guy to text me back? Like, at what price? What am I paying to play along this game? Do I have sleepless nights? Is my nervous system going to be dysregulated? Am I distracted from enjoying life? Maybe you are not in the present anymore. So at what price are you playing this game along just to attract this guy? Okay. And I also know, like, a lot of women, they want to climb up the ladder, and I respect that. But again, at what cost? Do you enjoy playing these political games? Maybe you have to kiss the leader's butt to be successful, even though you don't stay true to yourself. I used to hear even stories of friends, like where women, they slept literally their way up. Do you even stay true to yourself? Is that what you want? Will you regret it in 5 years? Will you be proud of it if your kids will know it? You need to ask yourself, what do you need it for? What do you need money for? Do you have bigger goals than just spending them on like a 4,000 euro purse? And if you don't have bigger goals than just a purse, then start brainstorming. You know, I always think to myself, if I have a lot of money, I want to just give my kids the opportunity to start their own business, that they don't have to go to universities just in order to work a 9 to 5 job. If they have a business, they should start it right away. And that is where I think a lot of potential can grow. This is my goal. Once you know what you want, you really need to push past your fears. Like, you need to go for it, whatever people are telling you, okay? And I know that some people, they have this fear of failure, which is tied to the fear of unknown. I understand it because if you, for example, have recently experienced a failure in relationship, a failure in your career, and maybe you have also got a lot of negative comments, and I understand when this happens, sometimes we are being held back from moving forward with what actually we want in our life. We want this, but we cannot somehow move ourselves towards it. It's like we just like freeze again. I also know some people, they say, okay, let's look at on the bright side. Like, every failure is a lesson. But I understand that nonetheless it is hard to look past it, because every time we start something new, we have expectations of the outcome, which is totally logical, because otherwise we wouldn't start, right? Because we have all this hope. But listen, if, for example, J.K. Rowling decided to just quit being an author after her 12th attempt finding a publisher, then she would literally never become the first female billionaire author. For some reason, my microphone has just stopped working, but here we are back again with a new background. J.K. Rowling, she literally said it is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. And this failure that you are feeling, it's normal. In case you want to look it up, it's called atychiphobia. Means you're fearing that other people would evaluate you negatively. And some people think that the worst thing can happen to them is that other people are seeing how they are feeling. But at the end of the day, it really does not matter. Because if you think about it, every opportunity that you take in life, there will be a risk attached. If you think about all the opportunities you have taken so far, the bigger the opportunities are, the bigger the risk will be. But also understand, like, what am I risking? Is it about like life and death, or is it just really about people are judging me? And we live in that time where we are so afraid of other people's opinion that we cannot move forward with our lives. But also understand that if you want to be successful, if you want to have a focus, if you want to set the right intention, there is no great success ever that has been achieved without failure, unless you are someone who have been grown up in a very privileged environment. But then again, if you have been grown up very privileged, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are not going to face any other risks later on in your life. I always have this analogy in my head. It's like whenever you are going through hardship, you're basically jumping from a cliff. But at the end, you won't die. There is a trampoline waiting for you. And the higher the jump is, the further and the higher you're gonna jump back up. And if you are making through that hardship, if you are daring to jump, if you're gonna be patient, there is a guarantee that you're gonna be up there. Your comeback is gonna be bigger when you are falling deep. And when you find yourself not daring to jump, not making that step, then ask yourself, what emotion am I avoiding? What emotion am I trying to escape? And do I need to be protected from that emotion? So I want you to take these tiny steps to the things that you are fearing. And soon, day by day, week by week, year by year, your brain and your nervous system will be desensitized to the things that you are facing. And eventually, one day, you will overcome the fear. So know that we go through this life with all kinds of different tests. And to win this life, you have to handle it always with patience and persistence. Another part is that failure, literally, it will allow you to fail. It is liberating. Kind of like you enslave yourself from expectations of your parents, of your peers, of the society. When you fail, you have this opportunity to take a break, to breathe, and to know, where am I standing? What is that I'm doing? Instead of focusing on, okay, I have to be perfect, I have to be the best, I have to top other people. Failure allows you to fail. As for judgment from others, let it be known to yourself that only those who are deeply afraid of failure, they are judging you. They are judging the failure of others. You need to take those judgments aside. Don't let those intentions being steered by other people's opinions. So make the best out of your life, because at the end of the day, we are here for only for a while. It's not gonna last that long as you might think. How often have you realized that 1 year has gone so fast, just like this? 1 year, just gone. Think about COVID. It was recently, but it was gone so fast because now we have to focus on other things. So now you have the chance to make the best out of what you have. Your life is so precious that you can create everything that you want to believe in. And most of the time we are thinking we are dealing alone with these problems. We are not alone. There are so many people who have similar thought patterns. They are stuck. They are not sure how they can focus their right energy. And sometimes it's okay to be lost, because when we are lost, we are taking the break for ourselves. When we are lost, we are having the time to brainstorm. See every moment that you are feeling lost in your life, that you are feeling there is no direction in your life, as an opportunity where you can sit down, take a breath, and start to brainstorm. This is the time and the opportunity where you can create by planting this seed. And the most beautiful thing is that you can recreate it over and over again. It does not necessarily mean just because you have planted one seed that you have to stick to it. You need to know whatever is there that has the desire inside of you to create. It will always be there. This is something that is innate. We are women. We like to create things. We are creators. We are creative beings. We are creating human beings. So how can we not create our own lives? We can create the life of others. Why can't we create our own lives? I know that you can, and I know that you have to just take a step back. Take it slow if you have to. Don't let other people rush you, because if you go in the speed of other people, you sometimes lose balance. It's kind of like you have this plant, it wants to grow really fast, and it didn't even had the time to root itself into the earth. How can you grow if you don't have solid roots on the ground? You need to be stable, okay? And this needs patience. The root itself needs patience, and that's how you also need to see with your focus, your intention, your life, your path. Be patient with yourself. No one is rushing you. And always be grateful, because you are privileged. Everyone who's watching this video probably is privileged because they have the time to watch it. I believe in you because I know you can do it. But you have to believe in yourself as well. This is the first step. And never, ever, ever let anyone deciding over you. Because you need to treat your energy and your intention and your focus as raw diamonds. Because your true resource, your only one most important and precious resource is your energy. And from energy, everything comes from energy. Money comes from energy. Friends come from energy. Your network, the quality time you spend with your family comes from energy. Your health comes from energy. So why don't you treat it as something that is how you would treat money, for example? Even more important than money. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section. And I hope you have learned something new, and I hope you make every day the best day of your life. Love you.